A high wind advisory has been issued for Tuesday into Wednesday morning.
That advisory including winds of up to 60 miles an hour for a lot of us. The McPherson Fire Department, one of the many departments preparing for these winds and potential calls. And with drought conditions, including that dry grass coming out of winter here, those high winds, grass fires can happen very quickly. McPherson Fire Department reminding people do what you can to stay safe.
Grass fire is usually our main focus right now. For those who smoke cigarettes, make sure that they're discarded in a proper container, things of that nature. Just be mindful of anything that can start a fire.
And it's important to remember secure any outdoor items like trash cans that Ross said may have a new zip code after tomorrow. Secure those because they become airborne.
When you said that during the fire, I was like, thank goodness, I always forget to put out my trash. It won't be a problem for me.